everybody. Today's the 12th of January, 2025, and we are back.
Is it the 11th?
No, it's the 12th.
Is it?
I'm looking at the date on my computer.
Fuck. Oh my God, maybe I'm going... God damn it. Okay, sorry. Good thing I haven't had to write the date on anything today.
This is the While We Still Can podcast, and we're here to laugh while we still freaking can, okay? We're going to talk about some Missouri politics, like Billy Long being the new weaponization of the IRS, and some more Missouri stuff. We're going to talk about some national news, and whatever else comes into mind. I'm Lisa.
I'm Tina. I apparently, if you see the top of the show notes, I thought it was the 10th at the top of the show notes.
I think we should leave all that in. That's funny to me. I did update all the show notes on our website last night.
Oh, wow.
So and I'll do ours, the one we're working with right now, I'll do that right after the show.
I'm still editing 2 behind, but I'm trying. And for some reason, Spotify is I'm having trouble getting them to load on there, but I've been doing them on YouTube, and I'm going to try and do the actual videos.
Okay, cool.
So... But it's on Apple now.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts. I think that's everything now. I think we're everywhere we need to be. Yeah.
So, you know what? I think I know how to get it back on the Spotify without having to use the,
Okay.
I got it. Okay, so every single hour is like going through a fucking year. So maybe I'm going back in time because I don't want the 20th to happen, because what the fuck?
Yeah, it's going to be rough, man. We were talking about at the top of the show, Billy Long came up, and of course he was a representative from Southern Missouri, and he's been...
He has no neck. We call him No Neck. And he's most well known for auctioning off Laura Loomer in
phone.
A committee meeting.
Not her.
Oh, well, what the fuck? Oh, that sounded fucked up. Okay, you know what I meant.
Yeah,
he was trying to edit that out.
Yeah, no, Laura Loomer was causing a scene at a meeting, and in order to drown her out, Billy started auctioneering over her. Because that's what he does. Anyway, we've talked about that several times.
I'll play the clip right here.
Help us, Mr. President, before it is too late, because Jack Dorsey is trying to influence the election, to sway the election.
What's she saying? I can't understand her. What?
Steal the election. That is why he is censoring and shadow banning.
How about it in? 12 and a half, 15, 7 and a half, $20, 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 30. Hit $30 down here, 2 and a half, 5, 35, 7 and a half, 40. Hit $40, 2 and a half, 5, 45, 7 and a half, 50.
Again, the 8th time we played that clip. I love it. Anywho.
It never gets old. Okay.
It never gets old.
But
he's been picked to run the IRS, which means he can have anybody that the administration wants audited. Allegedly.
Yeah. Or, let's see what else zero experience.
Oh, who needs experience? Come on. It's overrated. We don't need to know how to do things.
He had a previous position career as an auctioneer. So that's, and a state rep.
Yeah.
So, that just seems like kind of an important thing to maybe have a little bit of background in, but what do I know? We got Eric Burleson from Springfield area, right?
Oh, hey, what's he up to this week?
Being a piece of shit.
Allegedly.
No, it's right here. So 15 Republicans are co-sponsoring Bill H.R. 191 to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act, which removes the $35 cap for insulin from Medicare recipients. Really, guys? They're going to take every single good thing that you didn't even realize that you had
from the Biden administration.
They're going to take it, and they're going to have it, but you're not. Just like Elon Musk said, we're going to have to go through some hard times.
Right.
They won't, but you will.
Well, the thing is that when they make changes like that, they just flat out lie about it. And they'll blame it on, from the Biden administration. Globally, And then they'll say that they've done something positive, lie about what the previous administration has done, and then nobody even knows, right? Because nobody's paying attention.
Okay, I think that's honestly to my core why, like the core of the reason of why, like sometimes sports gets on my nerves. Because the amount of people, like if the amount of people that were invested in, like if even a half, I feel like, were like paying some, like a little chunk of that attention on something that matters every day in their everyday fucking lives.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm just like,
Well,
can you give a
Jess
little
Piper,
emotion to...
she had a good point recently that's kind of ties into that, because a lot of people that aren't paying attention don't have any local news sources. Like their local newspaper is no more, or it's gotten purchased by a bigger company that doesn't really focus on the local level, you know, or anyway, they're getting their news all from a national level, which half the time isn't even accurate. And so they don't, what used to be fairly easy access for them to see what was affecting them directly, it's like they don't have that anymore, and they're not going out of their way to find out.
Well, they're watching entertainment, like Fox News Entertainment, and they see news, so they're like, oh, yeah.
And
But
in a way, I feel like the last 15 years or so, it feels like the Republican Party has turned politics into entertainment, like a my team, your team entertainment thing, where people get their identity from their team.
Their persona.
Yeah. And they're bringing this like unreasonable, like we must win at all costs attitude to something where we all do lots better if we compromise, you know? But because of that cult of personality, it's like we must win all the time, and they don't give a damn what happens to anybody else because they're the other team, right? And
well, I just like when I don't understand when it became okay to just lie. Maybe
yeah, that's a good question.
Like, it's very weird to me, and it's mostly the people that identify as very Christian, you know, people who traditionally would have the character traits of truth telling. What's the word for that? I forgot. Honesty.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's weird. It's weird to me. But Eric Burleson said, fuck your insulin, diabetes, bitch.
Yeah, so tell your friends, if you're out there talking to your friends and they're complaining, you know, you can say, well, at least the Republicans, or at least the Democrats, aren't trying to overturn your reasonably priced medication.
Oh, and allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, Eric Burleson probably is getting government-funded Ozempic. You know what I'm saying? They all be doing it.
Oh, geez, I wouldn't know about that.
I mean, all the politicians just look like they've like lost, you know, a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Semaglutide, baby. So why are you trying to take away life-saving medications? Rude. Like kids.
Yeah.
Kids.
Well, and you know, this applies to people on Medicare, but still.
$35 cap. That's still a lot of fucking money for some people.
Yeah, it is.
Like, bitches.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And something that you're going to have to take for the rest of your life, you know?
Yes.
Something that when the patent was developed, the scientists in Canada sold their patent to the university for $1, you know, because they wanted society to benefit from this. And now, because of like end stage capitalism, we're just fleecing the hell out of diabetic people because they can. Yeah, it's horrible.
Eric Burleson said die. Okay. Speaking of, you know what? I was really grasping at straws there. That was being dramatic, but okay. So we have recently had this snowstorm. I should have been a meteorologist. I'm not talking shit. I know there's science behind it, but why would you do that job? Like, people are just mad at you all the time. That'd be like working the front desk at the operating room. I would hate that job. Like, I couldn't.
Yeah, it would be I mean, I think people would tell you they appreciate you if you were clearing the roads. And the only thing is they're like, how come you didn't do my road
Well,
yet?
okay,
Well,
so
we can't
they've
we're not
politicized
magicians.
this.
We can't do them all at the same time.
They've politicized this already, okay? They're like, why do we pay taxes if nobody's fucking doing the road? I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, what? That's like being a bitch to your waitress. Like,
And that's not wise.
yeah, like, they're putting those breadsticks in the basket.
And we're looking at an article
They're in
from
charge of it, okay?
Missouri Independent, Rudy Keller. Yay!
Yes.
Title is Missouri Appeals Court Backs Highways Commission on Raises for State Road Workers. The ruling says the Missouri Constitution allows the commission to use unspent money in state road fund for any permissible purpose, including implementing a market pay plan for MoDOT employees.
So they have money and they didn't give raises and they have super high turnover. And instead of increasing, because they're one of the lowest paid workers. Let's see.
Yeah, it starts out, Missouri Department of Transportation employees are entitled to raises included in a market pay plan, even if lawmakers haven't appropriated enough money to cover the cost. The Western District Missouri Court of Appeals ruled on Tuesday. The dispute began when Commissioner of Administration Ken Zellers refused to issue paychecks that included raises intended to stem rapidly rising turnover in the department. The heart of the case is language in the Constitution that states money in the road fund shall, quote, stand appropriated without legislative action, unquote, for the limited purposes of road construction and maintenance. Money in the road fund comes from fuel taxes and license fees.
Cheap ass motherfuckers. Okay, so be nice to your road workers. Like, come on.
Well, check this out. The department lost an average of 600 employees per year from fiscal 2018 to fiscal 2021 out of an employee base of 5,000. During that period, state pay raises were small or non-existent. So yeah, it's like anything else. If we're going to have quality employees to take care of our roads, we're going to have to pay them something,
Well, no one will apply.
Yeah.
No one's going to do it.
Yeah. And that's like a day and night job. It's not easy.
No, it's not. Let's see. We have... Oh, this is trash. Okay, so they're trying to do this on a national level now with Project 2025 and the corporate tax, tax cuts for billionaires, right? Well, there ain't no billionaires really in Missouri, but... So, this is... Missouri Republicans are pushing legislation called SB 370, which essentially phases out the corporate income tax. So corporations would not pay income tax. And guess who the sponsor is? Old Moon, Mikey Moon. Mike also wants your 12-year-old daughter to get married.
Oh, dear.
Say that's the same guy. He just has such a memorable name. So SB 370, this act phases out the corporate income tax over a period of years beginning in the 2026 tax year. Each annual reduction in the tax rate shall be by 0.8%, and beginning with the 2030 tax year, there shall be no income tax on corporate income. Why the fuck would you do that? The trickle down, is that...
I don't know. I mean, I could see how if you wanted to draw certain businesses to the state, you'd try to give them a tax break, but at what expense? Like, we don't have tourism tax like Texas or Florida to that levels here. We don't have income in our state to pay for roads and bridges and all the things we need to pay for us to have a decent quality of life, fire departments and you name it.
Like they're taking our tax money and just they're taking it and we're getting nothing. Like the point we always talk about, government isn't supposed to make money. It's supposed to provide services.
Right.
It's not there to make money. It's like to do a quality job.
Right.
And be efficient with our money.
Right. But if we don't tax it, the corporations, we don't have any income. I mean, then you're looking at income from individuals.
We pay that shit.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And
that's
so
us.
what? So what? So some corporation can, like, at the top levels, pay their CEO more, or their shareholders more. I mean, maybe if you're their shareholder, you care, but most of us aren't their shareholder, whatever company we're talking about. So I don't know. It seems like a foolish thing to do to me.
Wait, would Elon Musk come here and try to build a rocket so he wouldn't have to pay?
He might if he didn't have to pay any tax.
Did you see he built that lithium thing in Texas? But there's no water.
Well, and good
There's
luck
no
getting
water
enough
to like cool everything.
Good luck finding enough talented people trained in those things to staff and to, run a company. There's a lot of reasons people do or don't come to a state, but taxes is definitely way up there.
I don't really want mine to go to so that Walmart doesn't have to fucking pay taxes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Literally.
That's who we're looking at. I mean,
yeah,
corporations.
I know. It's trash.
We're not talking about little mom and pop businesses here. We're talking about, I feel like I'm all for giving them breaks, They're not taking millions of dollars home at the end of the year.
No. Okay, so let's see. We have House of Representatives, January 3rd, 2025. Mr. Biggs of Arizona submitted the following resolution, which was referred to the Committee on Energy and Commerce. So, let's see, recognizing the importance of access to comprehensive, high-quality, life-affirming medical care for women of all ages. So, cool. Sounds nice, right? Resolution. Recognizing the importance of access of comprehensive, high-quality, life-affirming medical care for women of all ages. Let's see. So it lists a bunch of shit that okay, cool, sounds good. But then the last little section in here says, whereas healthcare for women should also address the needs of men, families, and communities as they relate to women's health care. What?
What's the rest of it say? I don't see it here.
Let's see. But also, why would any bill say anything about addressing the needs of men when discussing women's health care?
Yeah, that's absurd. I'm just curious what the rest of it says here. I found it. Are you active? I can't. The sound changed.
Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Yeah, so President Carter's funeral was this week, and all the former presidents and their spouses and families had to sit next to Donald Trump, and it was interesting.
It would be so weird if your whole life was just scrutinized 100%. But you got George Bush, and he runs past Donald Trump, doesn't say a word, scoots in, hits Obama in the stomach.
Gives him a little hey bro belly bump, or a little hand to the belly. Yeah.
Snubs Trump, and it's just so awkward and weird, but Obama's, being a gentleman like always.
Yeah. He stood up to greet him.
And Kamala is sitting in a row in front of Donald, and Donald is just giving her the evil eye. It's very uncomfortable. And then you got Melania sitting there. She's holding the
program thing.
I wanted to say funeral directory. I'm terrible. That was just the wrong word. But she's holding it fucking upside down in the photo. You can see it. She's not even reading it.
Oh, how strange.
She's not even holding it right side up.
How strange.
And she just looks pissed.
Yeah, she looks displeased with her life most of the time, doesn't she?
I'm sorry. You could have left. Maybe she's so trafficked and abused. I don't know.
Who knows? That's a good question.
But I digress. So weird. Just weird. Very weird. The Supreme Court ruled that Trump could be sentenced on, what is today?
Today's the
Sunday?
11th. Or no, the 12th, rather. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the 10th, he was sentenced.
Yeah.
Judge Merchan sentenced him. And so he did a discharge of, I can't remember how they say it. So they sentenced him. He is a felon now. So,
yeah. I mean, on one hand, you walk away thinking justice is dead, but it's true. He's now a sentenced felon.
So there's like 30 or so countries you can't go to. Like the fucking president of the United States is a felon. Like that looks shitty, guys. That's like embarrassing.
Yeah.
But also our shitty ass Supreme Court, we have Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Alito, and Thomas saying that he should not have to be sentenced.
That's outrageous.
That's shitty. That is
Yeah.
shitty.
Before we leave, we should just mention that, you know, our thoughts go out to all the folks that are suffering from the fires in California, in the LA area. And
That sounds so terrifying. My cousin, he had to evacuate.
Yeah.
But his house is okay so far.
Literally a disaster. But okay, so that wraps it up for today, the January 12th, 2025. And thanks for listening to the While We Still Can pod, and we'll be back in your ears later this week. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.